Okay, Larry here with Guys, Games, and Beer, and we're in Philadelphia for Too Many Games. And we did a little pre-scouting yesterday. There was some retro stuff set out. There was a lot of independent games, so hopefully we'll get a few interviews with them today. The big concert setup. They have a whole separate room to the dedicated to the concerts. And they got a board game area in that, and we'll show you some various videos from there. So, and talk to some people. So, we'll talk at you. Okay, this is Larry, and I'm with
Andrew.
And you're with
Megacat Studios.
And what do we have here?
We have some homebrews that we've produced and developed. We have Coffee Crisis for the Sega Genesis. It's a 2-player beat 'em up. It's arcade style, sort of in the vein of Streets of Rage or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We also have City Trouble for the NES, which is sort of more of an old school black box style NES game that we published for a group called Dencat Games. We develop games. We also handle the physical manufacturing of them. We have our own injection molds and aftermarket parts that we make ourselves. And
well, was that hard to get, or how does that work? I mean, a lot of times we don't necessarily run into. We have a few people we've run into that have that kind of physical ability, and then others they kind of send it out or whatever.
It wasn't. I wasn't gonna say it's easy, but you have to track down who owns them, and it was actually us and a group of people got together and put the money together to get the injection molds. You have to find like the right PCB manufacturers and things. So, there's definitely some work involved.
All right. And so you developed this one. Now, were you part of the writing team, the developing team?
I was one of the artists involved with it. I'm the lead designer for the studio, so I do the project management and some of the artwork for the games as well. So I did some of the background art for Coffee Crisis.
Okay, so now these are the physical models for NES and Genesis, but do you have PC versions, or are they different games that you developed for PC?
So we're going to be coming out with an enhanced version of Coffee Crisis on Steam. That's actually going to be coming out probably within the next couple of weeks.
So has it already been green-lighted?
Yeah, we actually have a few games that have gone through Greenlight. Over on the other side of the booth, I have a couple of people trying out a game called Log Jammers that we're going to be coming out with soon. Sort of like a flying disc style game.
Okay, so but this game here, Coffee Crisis, is going to be out on Steam.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, all right. Well, it's something to check out on Steam. We will tag them so you can find out any information you need, their website and that. I assume you have a website?
Megacatstudios.com.
All right, real good. Thanks for spending a moment.
Thank you.
So back with another game developer. I'm with
Nick from Pixelmetal.
And what game do you have today?
I have a game called Sombrero. It's kind of a multiplayer Western theme Smash Brothers.
Okay, and you did the programming?
I did everything but the music.
Oh, so the artwork too then?
Yep.
All right, so you've worked on other games before?
I've worked on a few games over the years doing contract stuff, like a lot of pre-smartphone mobile games, back when they still had the pads on them and everything. And I just always wanted to make games when I was younger, and I figured I needed to do it before I got too old.
And this is your first game?
This is the first game that I've done, yeah, more or less by myself.
Okay, and it's available?
It's available on Steam right now during the summer sale for only $1.99. There's local play for 4 players, also online play, leaderboards, achievements, all the usual stuff.
Do you have another game in mind for your next project?
Yeah, probably next year I'm going to start on something new, or maybe end of this year. At this point, I'm still adding new stages, new characters, new weapons to Sombrero, and it's all free, no paid DLC or anything like that.
And if people want to find out a little more about you, where do they go?
You can go to pixelmetal.com. If you have a sense of humor, you can follow me on Twitter, Pixelmetal also, where if I'm a little bit extra snarky, people seem to like that on social media.
And why Pixelmetal?
I put a bunch of words into a random name generator, and that's what popped out.
Well, I thought, well, maybe I'm into video games and I love metal, you know?
Yeah, I mean, those are both true things, but it was that's how those words ended up in the random name generator. But there was lots of stuff. It could have been Pixel Machine, Pixel whatever, something else, metal. I couldn't think of a name, so I just threw a bunch of words into a generator, and that's what popped out.
All right, well, thanks for spending a little time with Guys, Games, and Beer.
Oh, yeah, thanks for stopping by.
Yep. Okay, I am here. We've talked about on our podcast one of the issues that is the future, where you come to a gaming convention and where are you going to buy, sell, trade games? And I'm going to stand here with Limited Run, and they are doing kind of the future of being able to do that yet. So kind of tell me about it.
So what we do is we work with small indie devs, and we take their digital-only games. Usually these devs aren't able to afford pressing these themselves and putting it into a physical format. So we take that burden off of developers, and we work directly with Sony to press and release these games in the physical medium. We release them in limited quantity, so once we sell out, they're all sold out.
And what's your typical run? 500,000? What's typical run?
We typically release about 4,000 to 6,000 press runs of each title. So, but we work directly with the devs, so we come to an agreement with the devs on how many we want to press and release.
Okay, and if someone's looking for these games, you just have them in these conventions, or can you get them online? Or
right now we have a website, limitedrungames.com, and we release our games on Fridays at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. Eastern time zones. So that's where you can get our games. We also are at conventions. We're trying to be more out there and advertise ourselves a lot more, and we'll bring our back stock in at conventions. So if you do miss out on titles, we're giving people that second opportunity to come and get titles that they missed from our website.
Okay, I do notice that it's exclusively Sony.
Right now, it's exclusively Sony. We're working with Microsoft, talks with Microsoft and Nintendo. We're trying to release our games on other platforms as well. We want to get our product out there on as many platforms as possible, so to have customers a chance to get it on multiple platforms.
What? Just out of curiosity, so you say you release on Fridays, right? I heard that right?
Yeah.
What's the fastest the game's ever sold out?
Oh man, like 2 minutes.
Really? That quick? So people are waiting.
Yeah, they're waiting. They're waiting like 5 minutes before 10 a.m. and they're just sitting hitting F5 refresh, and then as soon as 10 a.m. hits, they're adding it to the cart and checking out, and thousands of games are gone in a matter of minutes.
Wow. Now you said you had you get kind of you can get a pre-warning if you wanted.
No, we don't do pre-order.
Or a pre-warning, warning on like an email or something.
Yeah, so we you can sign up for our newsletter. Our newsletter will send out updates of our newer releases. We'll let you know when our newest games are coming out. We'll do a special announcement of games that we're going to be releasing like later on in the year. So you'll get that information by signing up for our newsletter.
You can also follow us on social media too, at Limited Run Games, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for spending a little time with Guys, Games, and Beer.
No problem.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay, so Larry here again, and we have the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. And he doesn't really have much to say, so just one of the fun things they have hanging out here. Hi, this is Larry again with Guys, Games, Beer. We're still hanging out with indie developers, and I'm
Sam Bryan.
And what do you got for us today?
This is we got Fire Tower here, and we're Runaway Parade, and this is the first game we've developed to this stage so far.
Okay, and what is this game?
All right, Firepower is basically, it's a 2 to 4 player competitive fire game. A lot of fire games, you're working together in a cooperative manner, trying to like pull people out of the fire, trying to beat back the flames. But this is purely an offensive game. The only goal or mission is your two objectives. 1, to defend yourself, and 2, to desperately spread the fire to your opponents, get to the roof of their fire tower, burn them down, take their cars, and continue your assault against the rest of the board.
Literally burn your neighbor down.
Yeah, burn your neighbor down. Yeah, it's a twisted version of firefighting. It's almost more like a fire spreading game, although you do occasionally extinguish something if it's good for you.
It's more of an arsonist game.
Yeah, a little bit. People have been asking that. They're like, how much did you play with fire as a kid?
So where's this in the development?
Right now, this is a late-stage prototype. This is pretty much the way the game's going to look. We're hoping to do a Kickstarter in the fall, early winter. That's what we're shooting for now. So we're just going around the convention scene right now, trying to drum up some excitement for the game.
How's the response been?
It's been really good. We were just at the Connecticut Festival for Indie Games recently, and we won an award for Best First Impression there. And we've just been moving. Yeah, people seem to like the game, and it's just kind of pushed us to the momentum to want to keep going.
Is this now this year? Have you started talking about developing it or anything like that? As far as like a lot of plastic pieces and stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of we're talking to a lot of manufacturers. This is actually a common piece, which I had no idea. We were looking forever for what we could use. Initially, we were printing through Game Crafters, so we had some winks, and everyone was like, "Oh, if you could get a 3D piece, that would be good." And we've had a really good response with these, and we can get our hands on them pretty easily.
Oh, that's good. I mean, sometimes we run into developers and a challenge like, oh, you really can't make that piece, or it becomes cost prohibitive.
Yeah, that's true. Initially, we had an idea for almost kind of like a pyramid-shaped piece, and then as soon as we talked to manufacturers, like, well, that's going to be a $2,000 molding fee, and they're on. So yeah, we had to find something that was more of like a more easily accessible.
So if people want to check more about this, where can they go?
They could go to our website, runawayparade.com. We have the game on there, which has all the information about us and the game. And that's pretty much where you could see it right now, unless you run into us at a convention.
All right. Sounds real good. And thanks for hanging out.
Hey, thank you so much.
All right. It's Larry again. We're still at Too Many Games convention, and this time I'm with
Christian and Zenis.
And you're with?
We are Quadratron Games.
And what did you bring out to the convention?
We brought Super Rock Blasters.
And what kind of game is this?
It's a local multiplayer competitive game. We like to call it a couch competitive game.
Or I like to call it 4-player battle asteroids on drugs.
Okay, so when I was playing it earlier, one of the things I noticed, and I was kind of surprised by this, asteroids didn't kill me.
So we actually have variants in the game. Right now, we have it set so that they don't kill you, but you can totally set it up so that they do kill you. It's just super hard.
Right. Okay. And now you decided to go with the vector style graphics. Anything behind that?
I mean, that is the iconic look of asteroids. When we first started this game, it was kind of just a little game jam project. It's like, let's make asteroids and let's make it multiplayer. And it was a completely different game back then. But then was it Wizard World 2 years ago?
Yeah, Wizard World 2 years ago, we were like, oh, we got a booth. Let's bring a game that like a lot of people could play in front of our booth. And we also had a different game that we were showing, but we wanted to put some time into this game so that a lot of people could have fun at the same time in front of our booth. And we spent about a month or a month and a half polishing this up and getting it ready.
Okay, so this is not your first game?
It is not.
No, this is, we've done a bunch of games. This is the second game we've released in last year, though.
Okay, and so as far as game development, this is available on Steam?
Yes, it's available on Steam and itch.io, and it's coming to Xbox One in January.
All right, what's one of your other? Do you have any others that are released?
Yeah, we have Monsters right here on the corner. It's a twin-stick shooter, kind of like Robotron.
All right, kind of lost at the moment. But that's what I do, so it's okay. Everyone expects it once in a while.
We're gonna edit this all anyway.
No, there is no editing. There isn't going to be any editing.
And no editing.
This is it. Is it? Well, actually, that's fine. We're a rated R podcast.
Where's the beer? I heard there was going to be beer here.
You know, normally we do our show. We start with a beer every time, but conventions, they get funny. You start bringing your own in.
They serve beer here.
That's true.
What's your favorite beer?
Oh boy, that's tough. That is really tough. There's so many market rules in that, and being from Wisconsin, there's just so many. But now, my favorite brewery right now is Saranac.
What's it called?
Saranac out of New York.
All right, cool.
What about yourself?
Well, last night I had a Union Jack, their Imperial Pale Ale. I thought it was pretty good.
The brewery's name is Union Jack.
I don't know. I think that's the beer itself. I don't remember what the brand is. To be
I
honest.
feel like that was it Yards?
No, maybe Founders. Oh, maybe. Is that Founders Union Jack?
Founders? Okay. Well, we'll check that out. We'll check that out.
For me, it would be Old Engine Oil. If you've ever had it, it's a very black, thick stout from Scotland.
It's from Scotland?
I think so. I think that's where the brewery is.
Old Engine Oil. Yeah, I'll have to take for that. So this game's available, and I'd like to thank you guys for being on the show.
Yeah, man.
And
give us a call.
anything else you want to say before we got out?
Buy our game on
buy our
Steam.
game and play it?
It's on the summer Steam sale right now.
Yeah, summer Steam sale.
On a summer Steam sale, and if they have a website where they might learn more about you?
Quadratron.com.
All right, then we are out. So right now we just are doing kind of a shot of the overall video game area. So this is where they have the video games, the arcade video games, and the retro hall is all in this one room. Pretty dark in here. They got all the lights off. Last night on Friday they had the lights on. A little easier to get around, but you can understand in the arcade world you want to have things dark so just the screens are the focus. All right, we're at the last day of the Too Many Games convention, and I am with
George Tagmeyer, Jordan Hample,
and you're with
Semag Studio. Semag Studio.
And well, you know, sometimes we run into there's cooperatives that do something a little different. And what do you have today?
We have Hoopity Stick and Super Battle Robocopter.
Okay. And so this one here, this cabinet was built by you?
Yeah, me and our artist Brandon.
Okay. And describe the game for me.
Hoopity Stick is like the old-timey hoop and stick game where you're trying to push it down the street with the stick, except the physics are just out of control.
And everything explodes when it falls over.
Yeah.
Great. Why is that?
It's what happened back then, I think.
Yeah, we don't know.
All right, and I see it's available now.
Yes, it's free on iOS and Android, and I think Amazon.
Yeah, and on Amazon too.
Is it going to be on Steam at all, or?
I don't know.
Currently no plans, but with the way that they've changed to Steam Direct, where you don't have to go through Greenlight and stuff anymore, we've been kind of debating just throwing it on there to see if anyone likes it.
Okay, all right. Well, how does the controls work? I mean, for this you have a pad, you know, so how does the controls work on your...
I'll pull my phone up actually and show you. All you do is just swipe.
Oh, okay.
And try to balance it like that.
Now, what about, there is a jump and...
Yeah, so there are on-screen buttons for the jump.
Okay, all right, real good. What's the other game here?
In this game, we've only been developing it since about March, so it's really early on right now. So it's missing a lot of the features that we plan on putting into it, but this is a good start for everyone, just kind of get an idea, see if people like it, see what we need to tweak with it. But you take drones, you throw guns onto them, and blow each other up.
Okay, all right. And you said it's in early development?
Yeah, so it's only been about March that we started working on it. And we only have 2 gameplay modes in it right now. We're planning on having at least 4 or 5 different modes that you can play. We have 4 playable characters here. There's going to be about 12 when it's all done. And this one we are looking to do a Steam release for. It's going to be a little bit too big to put onto a mobile platform or anything.
Oh, okay. I love this cabinet. It is just beautiful, you know? So, all right. Anything else you guys want to mention? Maybe a website?
Yeah, any more information on us, you can go to semagstudio.com, or you can look for us on Facebook, Twitter, anything. We're around.
All right, real good. All right, so we're back in the hotel room. We wrapped up about a 10-hour day at Too Many Games. So generalized impressions. They have a lot of panels, so they have 3 rooms of panels, and so that is a little different. And it looked like their panels were really well attended. There was people standing in line and stuff, so and waiting for them. So that seemed like they were really well attended there. The game room, we do have a little bit of footage of it. It's really dark, so it's hard to see. They had a lot of set of fighting machines. Few retro games, Punch Out, Galaga. Had one of my best Galaga games. I ended up so the machine's been sitting there all day with all those gamers, and I ended up 3rd place. So not too bad, right in that 66,000, which I know isn't too great up there, but it was one of my better scores. So. And let's see, and they have a good selection of the retro games. Really like the museum that is at Midwest Gaming Classic. It's similar to that, but probably not as deep. You're really talking ColecoVision and television kind of. Atari, and then they had quite a few like PlayStation 3s, PlayStation 2s, so not quite as deep. No Vectrexes were on the floor. No Tandys or anything unusual on the floor. It's different. It's in a convention center, so it's a little bit different. They do have a nice big room for the vendor, and they also do a few other events. They had cosplay wrestling, and they had a whole wrestling mat and everything all set up and stuff, and that was we didn't get to see very much of that, but it looked like it might be kind of interesting. And then that same area was all taken down today, and they had something else going on there today. So the tabletop area wasn't too bad. They had a game library, and you just checked it out with a card or checked it out with your keys or whatever. So that was pretty good. Not a lot of board game vendors, but I still managed to pick up a couple of board games, card games really. Brew Crafters. I haven't had a chance to play it yet, but seems interesting. It's kind of a travel brew game, basically probably resource management style game. And then Ambria, the creator of the game, was doing demos, and I got a chance to play this one. It seemed to play pretty well. I did pick up a copy of it. It probably makes me think, hey, it was pretty good. The one thing that they have a lot of independent game developers. I would say, what would you say? There was at least 20 video game developers, and they probably had 5 or 6 board game developers. So I mean, it was a pretty good indie representation. And we ran into some decent stuff. And a bulk of what I did today is do interviews like Guys, Games, and Beer does. We did interviews with our indie developers. And so you should have already seen some of those. Hopefully by the time this, when we stitch all these together, hopefully we'll stitch them so that this is the last part of it. But maybe not. And otherwise, look for the interviews. The concert, because it was a divided building, it kind of worked out. They had several concerts. They have some concerts tomorrow, and they it's in a separate building or separate part of the building. It's walled off, so I think that helped quite a bit to, so it wasn't part of the vendor area, it wasn't part of the gaming area. I think that kind of helps. But now what I did notice is, as far as like being in a convention center, everyone sort of goes home for the day, like we're back at the hotel and stuff, and everyone sort of scatters in that, and it's you're kind of missing, like at some conventions where it's all in a hotel, where you get to play all night with people, or maybe you picked up a game and you go in the hotel lobby and there's 30 other gamers there and a couple of them join in, so that's kind of a downside of the convention center, because it's not attached to a hotel or anything either, but the upside is it had a lot of room. Another downside, they could use some food trucks out front. It's just a convention center food, and they had one other vendor that we found, and it was like funnel cakes. It's like they smell good, but it's not really much of a meal. Some falafels or something outside would be nice. And there was not like a lot of things in the area necessarily either. So overall, I think it's a pretty good convention, and I think it's worth checking out if you're in the Philadelphia area. So, all right, well, I think that's going to be about it for Guys, Games, and Beer visits to Too Many Games.